Hello, my friends. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today, we will talk about a man who lived more than 500 years ago. But this man was different. Very different. He painted one of the most famous paintings in the world. He studied birds because he wanted to fly like them. He drew machines that did not exist in his time. His name was Leonardo da Vinci. Did you know that Leonardo never finished school? Did you know that many people thought his ideas were crazy? But today, the whole world knows his name. If you enjoy learning English through stories like this, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Now, let me tell you Leonardo's story. It was April 15th, 1452, in a small village called Vinci in Italy. A baby boy was born. His name was Leonardo. His father was a rich man, a notary. His mother was a simple woman from the village. Leonardo did not grow up with his mother. He lived with his father and his father's family. But Leonardo was not like other children. When Leonardo was a boy, he did not go to a normal school. In those days, schools taught Latin, mathematics, and religion. But Leonardo did not learn these things. Why? Because he was born outside of marriage. This means his parents were not married. In that time, this was a problem. So Leonardo could not go to the best schools. But Leonardo did not stop learning. He learned by watching. He watched everything. He watched the trees move in the wind. He watched birds fly in the sky. He watched water move in the river. He asked many questions. Why do birds fly? How do rivers move? Why does the sun make shadows? His family did not always understand him, but Leonardo kept asking. He kept watching. Leonardo loved to draw. He drew animals, he drew plants, he drew people. His father saw his drawings. His father thought, "My son has a gift." So his father made a decision. He took Leonardo to the city of Florence. Florence was a beautiful city, full of artists, builders, and thinkers. Leonardo was about 14 years old. His life was about to change. It was 1466 in the busy city of Florence, Italy. Leonardo's father took him to a workshop. The workshop belonged to a man named Andrea del Verrocchio. Verrocchio was a famous artist. He made paintings. He made statues. He taught young men how to become artists. Leonardo became his student. In the workshop, Leonardo learned many things. He learned how to paint. He learned how to mix colors. He learned how to cut stone and work with metal. He learned how to build and design. But Leonardo wanted to learn everything. He did not only study art, he studied the human body. He studied animals. He studied light and shadow. He wanted to understand how everything worked. One day, Verrocchio was painting a large picture. The painting showed the baptism of Jesus. Verrocchio asked Leonardo to help him. He told Leonardo, "Paint one angel in the corner." Leonardo painted the angel. When Verrocchio saw it, he was shocked. Leonardo's angel was more beautiful than anything Verrocchio had ever painted. Some people say that after that day, Verrocchio never painted again. He knew that his student was better than him. But Leonardo was not happy with just painting. He wanted to know more. He went to hospitals and studied dead bodies. This was dangerous and strange in those days. People did not like it. But Leonardo wanted to understand the human body. How do muscles work? How does the heart pump blood? He made hundreds of drawings. He wrote notes in his notebooks. He wrote backwards from right to left. Why? Maybe to keep his ideas secret. Maybe because he was left-handed and it was easier. Leonardo stayed in Florence for many years. He became known as a talented artist. But he also became known as someone who did not finish his work. He started many paintings, but he did not finish them. Why? Because Leonardo was always thinking, always learning, always moving to the next idea. This was a problem. People wanted him to finish, but Leonardo's mind never stopped. It was the late 1480s, and Leonardo was living in the city of Milan in northern Italy. He was working for a powerful man, the Duke of Milan. The Duke wanted Leonardo to design weapons, buildings, and festivals, but Leonardo's mind was somewhere else. He was thinking about birds. He was thinking about the sky. He wanted to fly. Leonardo spent hours watching birds. He watched how they moved their wings. He watched how they turned in the air. He watched how they landed. He drew everything. He filled his notebooks with drawings of wings, feathers, and flying machines. He wrote, "A bird is an instrument working according to mathematical law." He believed that if he understood the law, he could build a machine to fly. Leonardo designed many flying machines. One machine had large wings made of wood and cloth. A man would lie on the machine and move the wings with his arms and legs. Another machine looked like a helicopter. It had a big screw on top that would spin and lift the machine into the air. Leonardo drew parachutes, gliders, and other strange machines. Did any of them work? We do not know. There is no proof that Leonardo ever built or tested these machines. But his ideas were hundreds of years ahead of his time. Why did Leonardo want to fly so much? Maybe because he wanted freedom. Maybe because he wanted to see the world from above. Maybe because he wanted to prove that humans could do impossible things. Whatever the reason, the dream of flying never left him. But Leonardo was not only dreaming, he was also painting. In Milan, he started working on a very important painting. It was called The Last Supper. The painting showed Jesus and his 12 disciples at their last meal together. Leonardo worked on this painting for 3 years. He painted it on the wall of a church. The painting was huge and beautiful. But Leonardo used a new technique. He did not use the normal way of painting on wet plaster. He used a different method. Unfortunately, the painting started to break and fade very quickly. Even today, The Last Supper is damaged, but it is still one of the most famous paintings in the world. It was 1503, and Leonardo was back in Florence. He was now 51 years old. He was famous, but he was also poor. He did not finish many projects, so he did not get paid. But then a man came to him with a request. The man's name was Francesco del Giocondo. He was a rich merchant. He wanted Leonardo to paint a portrait of his wife. Her name was Lisa Gherardini. Leonardo agreed. Leonardo started to paint. He painted a woman sitting with her hands folded. Behind her, There was a strange, dreamlike landscape, mountains, rivers, and roads that seemed to go nowhere. But the most interesting thing was her face. She had a small smile. Not a big smile, not a sad face, something in between. People looked at the painting and asked, "Is she happy? Is she sad? What is she thinking?" Nobody knew. Nobody knows even today. Leonardo worked on this painting for years. Some say he worked on it for 4 years. Some say he worked on it for more than 10 years. He carried the painting with him everywhere. He never gave it to Francesco del Giocondo. Why? Maybe because Leonardo never thought it was finished. Maybe because he loved it too much. This painting is called Mona Lisa. Today, it is the most famous painting in the world. Millions of people go to Paris every year to see it in the Louvre Museum. But while Leonardo was painting, the world around him was changing. There were wars. Cities fought against each other. Powerful families fought for control. Leonardo moved from city to city. He worked for different rulers. He designed weapons, bridges, and buildings, but he still did not finish many of his projects. People started to call him unreliable. But Leonardo did not care. He was not interested in money or power. He was interested in knowledge.
It was 1516, and Leonardo was 64 years old. He was tired. His right hand was paralyzed. He could not paint anymore. But his mind was still strong. The King of France, King Francis I, invited Leonardo to come to France. The king gave him a beautiful house near the royal palace. He gave him money. He gave him respect. Leonardo accepted. Leonardo moved to a small town called Amboise in France. He brought his notebooks with him, thousands of pages filled with drawings, ideas, inventions, and questions. He lived quietly. He talked with the king. He worked on his ideas. He looked at his old paintings, including the Mona Lisa, which was still with him. On May 2nd, 1519, Leonardo died. He was 67 years old. Some stories say that King Francis was with him when he died. Some say Leonardo died peacefully in his bed. We do not know for sure. But we know that Leonardo's life was not easy. He was born outside of marriage. He did not go to the best schools. He did not finish many of his works. Many people in his time thought he was strange. But Leonardo never stopped learning. He never stopped asking questions. He never stopped dreaming. Leonardo da Vinci was not just an artist. He was a scientist, an inventor, an engineer, and a dreamer. He painted some of the most beautiful pictures in history. He designed machines that were built hundreds of years after his death. He studied the world with curiosity and love. Today, we remember him not because he was perfect, but because he never stopped trying. He never stopped wondering. I hope you enjoyed this story, my friends. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you can hear more stories in simple English. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Which historical story do you want to hear next? Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next story. Goodbye.